welcome to another week with author E. Jamie. For this week, I believe that I'm going to be still staying home. Well, for these 2 days here before I go back to work, because yesterday I went over to my sister's and I met up with my mom, who is back in Canada for a week or so, because she's applying for her Canadian citizenship, and to do that, and for her to retain her citizenship, I believe she has to come back every 6 months or something like that. Went to my sister's yesterday, and I saw my mom, and that was very nice. With my sister, we watched some more Queen of the South. I think we're about almost finished season 1. And she seems to be enjoying it. It's a rewatch for me because I love that show. And yeah, so that's what we did yesterday when the storm started. We got another snowstorm, another crap ton of snow, about 20 or so centimeters, which was not great. And today it's supposed to be a mix of some places will get more snow, some places will get freezing rain and ice pellets and all that stuff, and it's just nasty. Tomorrow it might let up, but I think the temperature is still going to be cold, and so I'm just staying home for the next couple of days and just getting some stuff done. This past Monday we had off because it was Family Day here in Toronto on the 20th, and it was nice to just sort of stay home, and I just did some editing. I got a big chunk of my historical romance Wanted. I got a big chunk of that edited, and did some reading, and that was really, I don't know, that day was just really, really nice. I felt really, really good that day. Watched some YouTube, and yeah, just YouTube editing and reading. So that was really, really good. And I finished Persuasion by Jane Austen, and I can already say that I loved it so much more than Pride and Prejudice. But I still don't think Jane Austen's writing style is for me, because there was so much, to be fair, there was less of it in this one, I guess, of stuff going on that had nothing to do with Anne and Captain Wentworth, which I will go on record and say that Anne and Frederick Wentworth is a better love story than Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet. I said what I said. That is just my opinion. You can disagree, and that's fine. I don't want you can disagree, but don't tell me that I'm wrong for thinking what I think. That's fine. This love story was so much better. So much better. It wasn't Anne, so much better heroine than Elizabeth Bennet. Get the fuck out of here. I loved her so much more. But I will say, the love story itself is one chapter of this book. I mean, if you took out every non-important divergence into other characters and other sort of character viewpoints and other plot points that had nothing to do with Anne and Frederick being even in a room together, this story would be 1 chapter long. And that's what I don't like about Jane Austen's writing. she goes on and on about things that don't matter to the story, that have no bearing on the story. So and her like run-on sentences. Listen, listen. I have the occasional issue with a run-on sentence in my books. But that's what editing is for. That's why you go back and you edit and you make the sentences hopefully better. This is just, like I keep saying, Jane Austen, it takes her 17 words to make a 5-word point. But I will say, Persuasion is a better book than Pride and Prejudice. That's all. So I'm reading some more of the poetry of Pablo Neruda, and I just wanted to read you a line from it, from the most recent one that I read, that I really, really liked. And this is from Dissection? No, it's not dissection. It's, I don't know what this word means. Disation. It's not distraction. It's not dissection. Maybe I should have looked this word up. But there's a line in it at the very end. Come with me to the white day that is dying, screaming like a murdered bride. That was such a standout, visceral line to me that I had to tab it and underline it. It just like really like punched you in the face. So yeah, there's like beautiful lines, and then there's like lines that just jump out at you. So there's that one. So I finished Persuasion, and first let me show you where I am with my, why did I put all the way at the bottom? Of course I did. Of course I did. I am almost finished Clara's War by Clara Kramer, and so enjoying it. I'm not sure if I mentioned this on my last update, but there was this whole worry about the fact that Beck's wife, and Beck is the German anti-Semite, supposedly anti-Semite, but I don't see him really behaving anti-Semitically, and I haven't really seen him really say anything against the Jews, but apparently he's an anti-Semite who risks his life to basically save these Jews and hide them for, it's been like over a year now, in this sort of created dirt bunker sort of below his house. So he's hiding like 12 people. He's like, I think 2 or 3 different families in this bunker, and he's having an affair with one of the Jews that he's hiding. And the whole time they were like, if this gets found out, we're screwed. Because if the wife finds out, we're screwed. And the wife is like a really good woman, Julia. But her husband, like he is not, by no stretch of the imagination, the best husband. And now he's like having an affair with one of the people that they are hiding. She understandably loses her shit. And this girl that he was having an affair with was at one time her best friend. So she understandably loses her shit. But she can't sort of bring herself to, give them over to the Nazis, no matter how like angry she is. So thankfully they are, very good people and still agree to hide them. And I've just gotten to the point where she and the wife and the girl who had been her best friend, that they have kind of made their peace, and she's kind of forgiven her. So that was a really nice scene. And so I am almost done, and they're still, they're still there in the bunker, and there's sort of hope. There's hope at the on the horizon, because it looks like the Nazis are losing the war, and in some places they're starting to pull out where they were occupied. So now it's just sort of a waiting game of staying alive long enough to see the end of the Nazis in their town. So that's sort of where we are right now. Loving it very, very much. Because next I will be starting, after I finish the Claire's War, for my workbook, I will be starting From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Now, I have not read this series. I have heard about this series so much that it put me off it. And it's not about, like, it's that thing, like, it's not about it being a popular book and, like, oh, like, I can't, I don't want to read popular, because that's bullshit, because I have, like, so much, like, romance and, like, Nora Roberts and, like, so much love for just books in general, and, like, I do not like pretentious people who basically are like, oh, it's popular, I can't possibly read that. If it's popular, then it must be trash. I'm not that. It was just that the hype over this book, and Jennifer L. Armentrout in general, just felt really disingenuous to me. It didn't feel genuine. It felt like booktubers and or booktalkers who are basically paid to promote certain authors. That's what it felt like, and I get that same vibe from Colleen Hoover. Do not come at me. Do not come at me. Do not. I get that same vibe from Colleen Hoover and a lot of, like, book talkers and stuff that go viral. That's why I don't like BookTok. It just seems like a big PR app as opposed to a genuine love of books space. And that's a lot of what romance booktube seems like to me now. I'm finding it really hard to find romance booktubers who aren't just hawking the same books. And because it just feels like to me that the author and their PR whatever firm or whatever is just basically mass marketing these books to, and or flat out paying in either arcs or money to these specific booktubers to talk about them and hype them up. And that just feels really disingenuous to me. I don't, again, like, I'm, make your money on booktube, of course, but I don't want to hear a booktuber hyping up a book and how they loved it so much and it ripped out their soul, and like, really, it was just the author, like, likely paid them, or the author's marketing PR person or whatever paid them either in, like, free arcs or money. And it just, I don't want that. I want to hear from like a person who got the book, either like bought it or like got it from the library or like just genuinely searched it out and got it and read it and loved it, and is not doing it because some author like gave them an arc and so now they have to feel like they have to talk it up, or and I'm saying this like as an author, and I don't like doing that. Like I could, and I know that it's like a good like marketing thing to like send your book to like booktubers and like stuff like, but it feels icky to me. I don't like it. I would rather you got my book and you enjoyed it and you can talk it up than me sort of sending it to you. And then I don't know, because then like you send your book to be reviewed to like review sites and stuff, and like how is that different? Is it really? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I don't like the feeling that a lot of romance booktubers give me, because it feels disingenuous. That was a whole rant, basically to say my sister loved it, so I'm gonna try it. So that's basically what I was the point of this. Yeah, it's the first book in the Blood and Ash series. This is from Blood and Ash, and I know that a lot of people have read it and supposedly loved it, but I, trust my sister's opinion more than BookTube and BookTok and all that stuff, because I know that my sister got it because she was interested and she ended up loving it. Not because she's being, not because she's supposed to talk it up because the author's PR firm sent it to her or something, or not because she's being paid to say that she loves it, but because she went and bought it and genuinely loved it. So that is somebody whose opinion I can trust. Not to say that I'm gonna love it, but I want to try it. So we shall see. So that's what I'm gonna try. So after I finished Persuasion, I started Anne's House of Dreams by Lucy Maud Montgomery, and this is book 6. Because I think Anne of Wendy Poplars was book 4, so is this book 5? I think this is book 5 maybe. Anne's House of Dreams, and they've gotten married, and I'm already loving it like so much already. There is a little bit of a not dry, but the parts that I don't love as much are sort of when Anne and Gilbert and Miss Cornelia and Captain Jim all sort of like get together, and Captain Jim and Cornelia sort of go off on these tangents about like the people in town and different stories about people in town, and like it drags a little bit in those moments there for me. But I am already loving it. I loved Captain Jim from like the moment he stepped on the page. He is my favorite new character that we've met in this book so far. We have poor Leslie Moore, who got married, was sort of pressured into getting married when she was like 16, and her husband was a piece of crap. But then he either he has like medical issues now, and like she has to take care of him, and she's like basically stuck taking care of this piece of crap man until he dies, and sort of losing the best sort of years of her life. And it's made her very unwilling to sort of warm up to people, and it's basically what Catherine, I think, Brewster or whatever was in Anne of Windy Poplars. It was basically her, but I find Leslie Moore, her story is sort of sadder, and herself as a character, I like her more. I just want to hug her. But it's following that same plot of, oh, Anne fixes somebody's life, and there's somebody who's like sad, but Anne like fixes their life, and I'm just coming to accept the fact that that is sort of her through line throughout like the whole series. that is pretty much going to happen in every single book. I've come to accept that now. Instead of being like, oh, like are we really doing this again? Yep, we're doing it again. So, really liking that. I have come to the point where Anne and Gilbert had just had their first baby girl. They've just had their first baby girl. And that's like, I just finished it. Just ended it. Words. I just reached the part where they've had their first baby girl. So looking forward to reading. I'm about halfway through. So just like speeding through it. And this is like a book that I read like at home. So in between like writing and like doing my, stuff around here and everything. And just, yeah. Clara's War is my workbook. This is the book that I read like at home. So really, really, really loving this one. So much more than Anne of Windy Poplars. My one complaint so far is I would have liked more of Anne sort of thoughts on like sort of being a wife, and sort of her thoughts of the adjustment that she sort of had to make, and like how she feels she's changed sort of as a wife, and like her thoughts on like getting used to certain things about being a wife. I would have liked more of that, because she's like, we haven't really had that. She's just, they get married, and everything is wonderful and lovely, and then she like meets these people, and like you zone in on the one that she's gonna fix, which is Leslie Moore, clearly. Yeah, so that's sort of like what we got. I would have just liked more of her thoughts on like adjusting to marriage. But otherwise, loving it so much more than Anne of Windy Poplars. That's gonna be my, I think that's gonna be my episode 8 of, or was it episode 8? No, the episode in Stranger Things with, not episode 8, number 8. The sister, the lost sister. That, I think, in Anne of Windy Poplars is gonna be my lost sister book. Because like, it was still a good book, just like in Stranger Things. It was still a good episode, but not my favorite of the series as a whole, and not my favorite of this book series as a whole. So, yeah. Looking forward to reading more of that today. I got a few things at work, and yes, 2 of them were books. One I got was a classic, Thomas Hardy's Jude the Obscure. Now, I remember I got this because I was 99% sure that it was made into a movie. in the 2000s with Christopher Eccleston of Doctor Who and Kate Winslet from Titanic. And I believe that movie was based on this book. Because I remember Kate Winslet's character name was Sue. And I think she was Jude's cousin. But they had a scandalous love affair. And I believe and I don't know if they ended up getting married. But, or because they can't get married. But they do end up together, living together. But I don't think they can get married because they're cousins. So there's a little bit of wee bitty incest there. And I'm 99% sure that this is the book that it was based on. And the movie, I remember the ending. The ending was something. Oh my. So I'm looking forward to reading this book and seeing how it matches up with the movie of that I remember. So got that. And I also got Fortune by Erica Spindler. I have a book of hers on my keeper shelf called Forbidden Fruit, which I absolutely loved. And it is the same sort of, and Forbidden Fruit was about these 4 girls who witness a murder. And I'm not a big mystery fan, but the way that these sort of play out, they're very sort of, I don't know, I really, really like Erica Spindler's writing style and the way that she works her plots and stuff, so that it's not just a standard mystery. It's like a mystery / glitzy glamour type of novel. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. And I also at work, I got a TV series that my sister again has loved and that I have always wanted to watch. I watched the first episode of and then somehow lost track of it. But I liked the first episode, but I knew the shit was going to get weird. And that's Fringe. I got season 1 at work, and I am likely going to be doing reactions to it when I sort of finish the stuff that I'm reacting to now on my reaction channel. Because on my reaction channel, we're reacting to Outlander, Supernatural, Lost, a Turkish drama called Hercai, and we're doing movie reactions once a month. So probably, I think because a long time ago I was doing tweet watches to 24, the TV show 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. And I'm debating when I'm finished either probably Outlander, because that's going to finish faster. I'm going to do either, I don't know if I want to do reactions for 24, for the rest of 24, or if I want to continue doing tweet watches. Because tweet watches sort of take up more time initially, but reactions take up more time afterwards in terms of editing and uploading and all that stuff. So but I know that at some point I want to react to Fringe. So that's sort of where we sort of are. So for today, yeah, I'm just staying home. Today I'm going to, I think I'm going to be reading and I'm going to be doing my editing for Shawshank Redemption for the YouTube version. The Patreon version is already up on my Patreon, I believe. It should be up there already. Let me just or if it's not up yet, it will be up by the time this video goes up. And the YouTube version should be up as well by the time this video goes up, because I'm going to be editing that today. And maybe I'll do some editing of my historical romance, Wanted, but I don't know if I'll have time. The priority today is to edit the YouTube version of Shawshank Redemption for my YouTube reaction channel. So, I think that's going to be it for this video. I might pop back in tomorrow because I know that I'm going to be staying home tomorrow because it's still going to be cold. And, yep. I'm so ready for winter to be over because I want to go. Like, we had nice weather last week, and then it looked like it was going to be turning around, and then we got hit with this again. And it's just freaking annoying at this point. I want to be able to go on my walks and go to like different things and like places and like, you know, see some like more stuff and like have nice weather to sit in a park and read and just, I miss it. I miss it and I need it to come back now. So that's going to be it for this video, and I will talk to you guys next time. Or later tomorrow, which will be next time.